Hey guys, I want to show you a little inside my journals today and talk about why I journal. I've been doing it. I've been doing it for 10 years now, since fall 2006, and I've been thinking about a lot about why I do it and just the benefits of it. And I would say the main reasons I journal are definitely to document my life. I want to remember this time in my life and the situations and memories how I felt now. And reading it years from now, I can't really refill those exact emotions from the view of my current self, but I can see, kind of get a general idea of how it felt. Like as a teenager, uh, 87 years ago, going to prom, I remember how big a deal it felt to find the perfect prom dress and all the self-conscious body image issues and how big a deal acne felt. And you're like, oh, well, I don't look tan. Is my hair frizzy? Like all these things that felt such a big deal at the time. Now I look and I'm like, I don't care if I go outside without a shirt. Like as long as I put enough clothes on to not get arrested when I go outside, I'm good. I don't care about makeup or like any of that right now. And I did at the time, when I was really young, going to prom, it just felt like such a big deal. So the stuff that felt like a big deal at the time, doesn't really feel like that anymore. And the stuff right now, I kind of keep reminding myself like that the situations that feel like a big deal now might not feel like that in a few years or in 10, 20 years. They're not going to feel as intense. So the main thing that I like about journaling is just realizing how quickly emotions change and how quickly life changes. So I try to document some of my life as it happens and to try to document those milestones as it from my current view. Like if I'm going on a special vacation, it's my first time, like my first international trip or my first trip to that certain place, and it feels magical. Like it might not feel magical after I've done it, a handful of times when I'm 50 years old. So I want to remember those milestones from my younger view, like my current modern self, and not just think like, oh yeah, I remember going there once. It was cool. Like when I'm 50, just be like, yeah, I had fun back then. I want to remember like why it felt magical and why it felt so special. So yeah, there's that. And fall 2006, I started journaling. Oh well, I guess I'll go with the other second reason I journal is to process my shit as it happens and kind of understand myself better. Like about 2 years ago, I actually got mad at journaling. I was like, why doesn't feel helpful at all? Why am I doing this? And I was seriously thinking about quitting journaling. And at that point, I'd been journaling for about 8 years. I'm just like, why am I doing this? I don't feel comforting. I still felt like catatonically depressed. I was having a rough time. I was like, what? This is not helping. I felt like it wasn't helping at the time. But now I realized that, it at least helped me understand myself. Sometimes nothing feels comforting in life. You just have to, what's the term? I'm trying to not be profane. You have to just survive whatever it is in your life right then and try to figure out how to make your future somehow, have something to look forward to. So that's kind of a plus about journaling, just realizing that you're not going to feel like hell forever and different situations aren't going to feel so intense forever either. You can actually have some happy memories later, as much as it doesn't feel like that at the time. So I like that about journaling. And yeah, fall 2006, there were kind of three things that eventually got me to finally start writing. I had diaries sometimes as a kid, but it was kind of off and on. And I tried journaling after that a few times, just writing a handful of pages and kind of forgetting about it. And that was that. But fall 2006, I was watching a video of a girl who was saying that she wanted to remember her past how it really was and not look back, or remember her present how it really was instead of looking back on it, back on the past with rose-colored lenses. So that struck a chord with me. And I'd also had a boss at the time who everyone got holiday gifts, and this one, I had a job kind of relevant to this. So she gave me a journal and said every good writer needs a good notebook. And a few years before that, I finally journaled a few years after the letter. My grandfather had written me a letter that said something to the effect of, "You're living in a historical city in historical times. You should cherish these memories, even document them in a journal," or something to that effect. So enough people had told me like, document your life, uh, process your emotions, and keep a journal. Enough that I finally got around to it. Fall 2006, I jacked my family's car for the afternoon. They said, they let me borrow it. I went to the nearest Barnes & Noble, got a journal. I was like, I need some outlet. And, it's not like journaling makes you, like, have perfectly steady emotions and, like, happiness. But it at least helps you get through those times. I mean, fall 2006, a relative had asked me in a restaurant once, like, what do you want to be for when you grow up? Like a perfectly normal question. And I could not stop sobbing in the middle of the restaurant. I was like, and the relative said that they were heartbroken and like left the restaurant because they just like did not know what to do. And I just didn't have an outlet. I didn't understand myself. I didn't really feel like many people could understand understand my situation or my fears or where I was coming from. Like, we can only understand another person up to a certain extent. Our personalities and past and all this stuff are so different. So yeah, journaling has helped me understand myself better and at least cope with the shit in my life in a reasonably healthy way, because before I started journaling as a young kid and teen, I had a bunch of like negative, like unhealthy self-coping habits, and those I used to do at least a handful of times a day, and now I do them so negligibly it's not really a thing. So anyway, that's why I journal, and I hope this was entertaining. Have a good night. Bye.